Face the sun. 70 is face the sun. When you face the sun, wrote Helen Keller, the shadow always falls behind you. This was Helen Keller's poetic way of recommending optimistic thinking. What you look at and what you face grows in your life. What you ignore falls behind you. But if you turn and look only at shadows, they become your life. But if you turn and look only at shadows, they become your life. When I was younger, I remember hearing other kids tell a joke about Helen Keller. Have you heard about the Helen Keller doll? They would ask. You wind it up and it bumps into things. When I was younger, I remember hearing other kids tell a joke about Helen Keller. Have you heard about the Helen Keller doll? They would ask. You wind it up and it bumps into things. I have often thought about that joke and why such a joke about someone who was deaf and blind was funny. I often thought about that joke and why such a joke about someone who was deaf and blind was funny. I think the answer lies in our nervousness about other people overcoming huge misfortune, about other people overcoming huge misfortune. Perhaps we laugh nervously because we have not overcome our own small ones. In our own day and age, we are quick to consider ourselves victims. In our own day and age, we are quick to consider ourselves victims. We are all victims of some sort of emotional, social, gender, or physical abuse. We enjoy taking what difficulties we have had in life and blowing them up into the huge injustice. We enjoy taking what difficulties we have had in life and blowing them up into huge injustice. Helen Keller didn't complain about being from dysfunctional family or being a woman or of not being given enough money from government to compensate her from her handicaps. She had challenges most of us can't even imagine, but she refused to become fascinated by them and make her handicaps her life. She didn't want to focus on the shadow when there was so much sun. There is a bumper sticker that I see every so often as I am driving around. Life is beach and then you die. I always wonder about that bumper sticker because it seems illogical. If life is that bad, that should be welcome. The sticker should say, life is beach, but the good news is you die. British author G.K. Chesterton used to say that pessimists, like the person with that sticker on his car, don't stay anti-life very long. When you put a devil wall in their head, all of a sudden they can think of million reasons to live. Those million reasons are always there, down inside of us, waiting to be called. Our pessimism is usually a false front put onto the onto get sympathy. Our pessimism is usually a false front put on to get sympathy. Another popular bumper sticker has been shit happens. Another popular bumper sticker has been shit happens. I happen to consider that bumper sticker to be ironically optimistic. I happen to consider that bumper sticker to be ironically optimistic. It's one of the qualities of optimist that they are not surprised or overwhelmed and offended by trouble. They knows that trouble comes and they knows they can handle it. They knows that trouble comes and they knows that they can handle it. Some people have been upset by the popularity of the slogan, and I have seen them try to counter with the sticker love happens. Actually, they have it wrong. Shit does happens, but love does not. Love does happens all by itself. Love doesn't happens all by itself. Love is created. In his starring book Sunrise, Barry Neil Kaufman tells a astonishing true story of how he and his wife healed their once autistic son and helped nurture him to a happy, extroverted life. Kaufman and his wife made a conscious choice to see their son's disability as the great blessing to them. It was just a choice, like choosing to face the sun instead of facing your shadow. It was just a choice, like choosing face the sun instead of facing your shadow. But as Kaufman says, the way we choose to see the world creates the world we see.